The skies of Epsilon Verge burned with emerald fire. The Arkan Dominion called it pacification. To the human settlers below, it was apocalypse. Orbital bombardment rained down for hours, glass and metal and human screams melting into the soil. Thousands of civilians turned to ash in seconds. The planet's defense grid never even had the chance to activate. Their orbital command station was sliced apart by a single precision lance before anyone realized an attack was underway. The Dominion's flagship, Vrax Eternal, hovered above the ruin, its crimson hull gleaming like a bleeding wound in the vacuum. Inside, Admiral Zortal reclined on his throne of obsidian alloy. The Arkan were a predatory race, six-eyed, mantis-like, elegant in cruelty. He watched the destruction below with detached amusement. "Efficient," he hissed. "Their colonies fall like reeds in wind." His first officer, a younger Arkan named Vel, bowed slightly. "The humans plead for negotiation, Admiral. Shall I forward their transmission to Central Command?" Zortal let out a chittering laugh, metallic and cruel. "Negotiation? They are primitives who believe mercy is currency. They should have learned. Control is not requested. It is taken." The Admiral's mandibles spread in a grin. "Epsilon Verge will serve as lesson. Their world will be rebuilt in the Dominion's image. Those who survive will mine their own ruins for us." He turned his gaze back to the burning horizon below. "Let the humans call for aid. Earth is far. Their response will be slow, bureaucratic, and when they come," he tilted his head, eyes narrowing to slits, "we will remind them who commands the galaxy now." The Empire celebrates weeks past. The Dominion declared victory. Broadcasts rippled across the stars. News feeds filled with images of Dominion, soldiers planting their banners on the broken plains of Epsilon Verge. Another human colony brought to order, the announcers declared. The Empire expands. Resistance is futile. In the Dominion's capital world of Carven, great parades filled the city's glass canyons. Hover banners depicted Earth's flag torn in half, dissolving into the Dominion's sigil. Crowds roared approval, while dignitaries toasted to conquest. "Humanity is soft," one senator scoffed over crystalline wine. "They preach peace. They think diplomacy protects them. They've forgotten the old violence of their kind." Admiral Zortal raised his glass. "Then let them forget. Their silence is our victory." Laughter echoed through the hall. But in the distant dark, far beyond the Dominion sensor arrays, that silence stirred. 3. The silence before the storm. 3 standard weeks. There was nothing. No human transmissions. No threats. No declarations of war. The Dominion's analysts found it amusing. "Typical humans," they said. "They will issue protests, appeals to the Galactic Council. They will wait for permission to be angry." But the transmissions that did come through were strange. A cascade of encrypted bursts through ancient military bands. Ghost signals bouncing between deep space relays long thought abandoned. The Dominion intercepted fragments, distorted voices, bursts of static. One phrase repeated across multiple systems, always faint, always chillingly calm, confirmed contact. "Initiate Black Protocol." The analysts dismissed it as panic. A rumor, nothing more. Until one night cycle later, every Dominion outpost in the Epsilon sector went dark. No distress calls. No wreckage. Just silence. The High Command demanded explanations. Fleets were dispatched to investigate. None returned. Fu. The turning of the void. At first, it appeared as flickers on long-range scanners. Shadows where stars should have been. Then came the noise. An electromagnetic pulse so vast it scrambled half the Dominion's sensor network. And through that static came a voice, low and cold in the common galactic tongue. "This is Earth Command. To the Arkan Dominion, your war crime at Epsilon Verge has been logged. Confirmed and recorded. Retaliation. Authorized." Admiral Zortal watched from his bridge as the first human dreadnoughts emerged from FTL. The Dominion had mocked human ship design for centuries, calling them crude, inelegant, outdated. But the fleet that arrived bore no resemblance to the old civilian carriers and colonial escorts. These ships were monsters. Each vessel was matte black, built from layered stealth composites, their hulls absorbing sensor sweeps like an abyss. No gleam, no color, only shifting shapes of void. The largest of them, the UNS Nemesis, eclipsed an entire moon. Its silhouette was a cathedral of war, bristling with rail batteries, fusion cannons, and what the Arkans would later identify, too late, as planet cracker torpedoes. And it did not come alone. Thousands of ships appeared in formation. Carriers, escorts, drone ships, automated mines, and dark armored marine dropships. The stars themselves dimmed beneath their arrival. For the first time in generations, the Dominion fleet found itself outnumbered, V. The first retaliation. The Dominion's fleet commander. Vel barked orders, mandibles quivering with disbelief. Engage! Target the largest ship! Show them the power of the Dominion. The fleet opened fire. Plasma lances carved the void, streaks of blinding green fury arcing toward the human formation. Dozens struck true, yet the human ships didn't shatter. Their shields flared red for seconds, then swallowed the impact whole. Then the humans replied. The Nemesis fired once. A single rail cannon shot, its slug accelerated to near-light speed, pierced 3 Dominion battleships in a row. The kinetic shockwave vaporized the 4th. No warning, no negotiation, only cold, efficient destruction. One by one, Dominion vessels vanished in bursts of silent light. Their comms filled with panic. We can't lock them. Shields collapsing! By the stars, what are those things? Within 12 minutes, the entire fleet was gone. Say, Earth's wrath, unleashed, the retaliation spread like wildfire. From the coreward sectors to the Dominion's rim territories, human fleets appeared as if conjured from nothing, rising from shadow bases, long-hidden black sites, and deep space bastions that no alien empire had ever known existed. Humanity had been preparing for centuries. The galactic community had seen the diplomats, the traitors, the peacekeepers. They had never seen this. Orbital bombardments reversed direction. Human siege groups turned Dominion strongholds into molten slag. The Archon's proud industrial worlds, once symbols of their power, burned for days, their skies filled with storms of debris, fragments of their own fleets raining back to the surface. Human drop units followed, armored Marines with exosuits that made them walking tanks. They didn't broadcast, didn't taunt. They moved through cities like ghosts, eliminating resistance with clinical precision. To them, this wasn't conquest, it was accounting. For every colony lost, 10 of the Dominions burned. For every human child killed, a city fell silent. One intercepted transmission from an Archon general became infamous across the galaxy. We wanted control. We found chaos. 7. The breaking of Carven, the Dominion's capital world, was a fortress. Carven had never fallen, not in 10,000 cycles. Its orbital defenses formed a web of energy cannons and drone, swarms that could incinerate entire fleets. The Archons believed it impenetrable until Earth arrived. The Nemesis and her fleet dropped from FTL above Carven's orbit, silent as death. Instead of hailing, they broadcast a single signal, a countdown. 10 minutes. The Dominion Council demanded parley, screaming into their comms for mercy. None came. Human drones blacked out the planet's orbit in minutes. Kinetic bombardment platforms aligned over every major city. Then, without a sound, the sky fell. Rods of tungsten, each the size of a skyscraper, plunged from orbit at terminal velocity. The kinetic impacts hit with nuclear-level force, each strike flattening kilometers of cityscape. The Dominion's Grand Palace collapsed under the first wave. Admiral Zortal tried to flee in his personal cruiser. The Nemesis tracked his escape vector, locked on, and fired. There was no explosion, just a silent burst of light, and then nothing. When the dust cleared, Carven was gone. The core continent reduced to ash, oceans boiling into steam. The Dominion's empire shattered overnight. Command structures disintegrated, fleets deserted, governors declared neutrality, and across the stars, a phrase spread like wildfire: "Do not provoke Earth." The ghost fleets, the war should have ended there, but humanity didn't stop. Their fleets didn't retreat. They dispersed, methodically, purposefully, erasing every trace of the Dominion's infrastructure. Shipyards, relay hubs, orbital refineries, gone. Some Archons tried to surrender. Others fled to neighboring empires begging for sanctuary, but no one wanted them. Fear of Earth had already taken root. Humanity never broadcasted demands or ultimatums. They offered no treaties, no negotiations. Their fleets appeared, executed, and vanished. The Dominion's records called them ghost fleets. Their movements were unpredictable. Their strikes, surgical. Their silence, unbearable. Whole sectors went dark, abandoned by both sides. The few survivors who tried to rebuild found strange warnings scrawled across derelict stations in human script. Order was your dream. Chaos is our gift. The end of the Dominion in less than 8 months. An empire that had ruled 2/3 of a quadrant ceased to exist. The last surviving Archon transmission, sent by a broken fleet admiral adrift in the void. was intercepted by a neutral listening post. His voice was weak, fragmented, trembling. We thought them civilized. Bound by law, we forgot what civilization is built upon. Not peace. Not mercy, fire. Then the transmission cut out. X. Aftermath. The weight of silence. When the fires died and the fleets withdrew, the galaxy waited for Earth to speak. They never